15-Minute Mondays, your kickstart to week high energy 15-minute episode on the Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Daniel Greg Johnson. Let's get right into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome back on the Success Blueprint. It is 15-Minute Monday time. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. And I just want to remind you of the Executive 5, more for leaders, executives, 5 minutes, 1 challenge, 3 moves, and a weekly challenge for you. And it's online every Thursday in the morning at 3 o'clock. I hope to see you there. Today, we talk about emotional sponsorship when you fund someone else's chaos. And that's when you overextend yourself, when you stretch yourself, when your boundaries are weak, and when you become the play ball for other people's energy. There's a kind of exhaustion you can't fix with sleep because it's not tiredness, it's emotional depth. It's that feeling of constantly being on call for someone else's storms. You know what it feels like when their panic becomes your problem. Their moods become your weather. Their crisis becomes your calendar. Everyone has someone like that in their life. And you keep on telling yourself it's love, loyalty, being a good partner, a good friend, a good child, a good leader. And sometimes it is, but sometimes it's emotional sponsorship. Tribe, when these things happen, you are funding someone else's chaos with your peace, your time, your clarity, and your nervous system. And you need to stop it. You keep paying because you don't want to be cold. You keep paying because you remember who they can be when they're calm. And you keep paying because you think if you do it better, they'll finally stabilize. Well, this episode is about stopping that pattern without becoming heartless, because there's a way to help, but with boundaries. So, what's the problem here? Well, emotional sponsorship usually starts innocently. Someone you care about is struggling, you show up, you listen, you help, you carry them for a moment, and that's human. The problem begins when a moment turns into a role. A role where you translate their emotions so others don't have to deal with them. Smooth over the consequences of their behavior. Walk on eggshells to prevent a blow up. Become a therapist, mediator, rescuer, and a shock absorber. Keep your own needs quiet because it's always not the right time. You're not in a relationship anymore. You're in a management contract. And the most confusing part is this: you can still love them. You can still see their good heart. You can still want their best. Yet you can also feel drained, resentful, and oddly invisible. And that's because you're funding a system that's not changing. Emotional sponsorship doesn't only hurt you, it quietly damages the entire relationship. And it creates resentment because you're doing the emotional labor of two people. Dependency because they learn you will carry what they refuse to handle. Fragility because the relationship can't tolerate ordinary stress without you intervening. Loss of respect, not always conscious, but real. People often resent the rescuer and rely on them at the same time. And self abandonment, because your life becomes organized around their volatility. The one day you hear yourself thinking things you don't like. I'm tired of you. I don't even want to answer your messages. I feel trapped. I'm becoming a worse version of myself. That's not cruelty, it's a bill arriving, a bill that you have to pay. Love without boundaries becomes a slow form of self erasure. But I will give you a 5-step framework with clear action steps that you can use to overcome that. Step number 1: identify what you're actually funding. Be honest, emotional sponsorship has a budget. The action that you take here: write down the last 3 times you felt drained after interacting with this person. Then answer: what did they offload onto me? What responsibility did I pick up that wasn't mine? What consequence did I prevent them from facing? And what did I cancel, delay, or neglect in my own life because of it? This step matters because many people say, I'm just supportive, while quietly paying for someone else's avoidance. If you can't name what you're funding, you can't stop funding it. Step number 2: separate compassion from rescue. Compassion says, I care. Rescue says, I will carry it so you don't have to. Rescue feels kind. It often keeps the dysfunction alive. And that in the long run helps no one. The action that you take here: use the 2-question filter. Number 1, what can I support without taking ownership? Number 2, what must they do themselves for growth to occur? And the examples here: you can listen without solving. You can encourage professional help without becoming the help. You can care about their feelings without being controlled by their moods. Support is a hand on the shoulder. Rescue is carrying them on your back. You don't need to do that. Not in relationships, not in peer relationships, not at work, not as a leader. Step number 3, install the boundary sentence that ends the cycle. If you keep explaining your boundaries, you keep negotiating them. The action that you take here, choose one calm boundary sentence you will repeat word for word without adding extra paragraphs. Pick one. I'm here for you, and I'm not available for shouting. Yes, I can talk when it's respectful. I won't do this over text. We can talk later. I'm not solving this for you, but I'll support you to solve it. I'm going to end this conversation now. We can try again tomorrow. And then follow through. Consistency is what teaches the new rule. Most sponsorship continues because the sponsor keeps talking while the boundary is being violated. Step number 4, stop absorbing, start redirecting. Your job is not to be an emotional sponge. Your job is to redirect responsibility back to the owner. The action that you take here, use the redirect trio. Number 1, name. I hear you're overwhelmed. Number 2, return it. What do you think you need to do next? And number 3, the offer. I can support you by listening for 10 minutes, but I'm not taking over. This does 2 important things. It keeps you compassionate and it forces them to face themselves. If they refuse to engage with responsibility, that is data. Painful data, but clean. Step number 5, create consequences without drama. This is a big one. This is where many people panic. They think consequences mean punishment. They don't. Consequences mean reality. If someone keeps using your presence as a dumping ground, access must change. The action that you take here, choose one consequence that matches the pattern. Reduce frequency of contact. Shorten the call. Stop responding immediately. Insist on a different format, in person, scheduled. End the interaction when disrespect appears. Say it simply. I'm not doing crisis calls after 9 p.m. anymore. If the conversation becomes insulting, I will leave. I'm happy to talk when you've calmed down. And then do it. A calm consequence is the fastest way to end chaos funding. And what's the deeper meaning here, tribe? Here's the truth. Emotional sponsorship is often a form of control disguised as care. Not malicious control, human control. When you rescue someone, you get a short-term payoff. You feel needed, you feel powerful, you feel like a good person, you avoid the discomfort of watching them struggle. But long-term, rescue steals their growth and your peace. Real love is not unlimited access. Real love is honest structure. If your kindness requires you to abandon yourself, it stops being kindness, it becomes fear dressed up as morality. Let me give you some real life examples here. You know the pattern. They disappear for weeks, then they call with urgency, emotion, and chaos. You drop everything because you care. You give them 2 hours. They feel better, you feel drained, and next week it happens again. The fix wasn't ending the friendship, the fix was changing the rules. I can give you 15 minutes right now. If you need more, we can schedule a call tomorrow. Suddenly the crisis had limits. The friendship became healthier, or it revealed it wasn't a friendship. It was a relief valve. Another one, the workplace sponsor, was a manager who kept saving a team member who was disorganized. And the manager rewrites emails, fixes mistakes, apologizes to stakeholders, and stays late to protect the person's image. And the manager became resentful. The team member stayed the same, because that's how it works. And the shift here was simple. No more hidden rescue. Mistakes were addressed directly, standards were clear, and the employee owned their repair. Performance improved or the role changed. Either way, the manager stopped bleeding quietly. And here one from my coaching experience. Let's call the client Cara. She was in a long relationship where her partner's moods ran the household. If he was stressed, everyone adjusted. If he was irritated, nobody spoke freely. Cara thought she was being supportive. In reality, she was financing his emotional avoidance with her freedom. And we started with one boundary sentence and one consequence. I won't engage when you're speaking to me like that. And she left the room every time the tone turned sharp. No arguing, no speeches, just action. The first week, it was tense. The system tested her, and that's normal. By week 3, she said something that matters. I'm not angry anymore. I'm clear. Her self-respect returned, and his behavior had to adapt or become obvious. Either outcome was better than silent sponsorship. And that's how it works. Let me give you some advanced strategies, short and quick to the point. The capacity contract. Decide your support limits when you calm, not in the moment. Time, frequency, format. The no triangles rule. Don't carry messages between people. If there's conflict, it must be addressed directly. Don't get involved. The repair requirement. If someone blows up, repair is required before normal closeness resumes. No sweeping it under the rug. That is not healthy. And these aren't harsh, they are adult. That's what you use, and that's how you're going to get back to normal. So look at it again, look at the framework, write it down, listen to it again, and start taking back the power. And that was it, quick and easy. Let me give you your weekly challenge for immediate implementation. This one is where the magic happens. This week, do the emotional sponsorship audit. Number one, identify one relationship where you feel drained. That can be personally, that can be at work with peers, doesn't matter, it works all the time. Number two, name what you're funding. Number three, choose one boundary sentence. Number four, choose one consequence. And number five, hold it once calmly within 7 days. And you will notice the shift, not just in them, but in you. Because the real win is not controlling their chaos, it's ending your participation in it. And if this episode described your life, if it described a friend, share it with someone who's carrying what isn't theirs. And then subscribe, leave a review, and join me next week, Monday, for another episode. But most importantly, copy the episode link, share it with 3 people on Facebook Messenger, on WhatsApp, TikTok, wherever you communicate, and help me to grow the tribe. And let's not forget Doc Marty Mushrooms, our sponsor. When you stop sponsoring chaos, you need clarity, steadiness, and a regulated nervous system to hold new boundaries. Doc Marty's blends are designed to support calm focus and resilience. So head over to docmarty.com. 15-Minute Monday listeners receive a 20% discount of their first purchase, and the discount code is DAN20, DAN20. Head over to docmarty.com. You won't regret it. Leave some love, buy a product, and create more clarity in your life. And I will leave you in closing saying this. You're not required to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. You can be loving without being available to chaos. And you can be kind without being the emotional dumping ground. You can support someone without funding the part of them that refuses to grow. The moment you stop paying the authenticity tax of proving you care and start living with clean boundaries, something powerful happens. You don't become heartless, you become free. And that is the beginning of a healthier kind of love. I hope you had a good time, and I see you next week, Monday, on the Success Blueprint and the 15-Minute Monday. This was Daniel Craig Johnson, your host, with my promise, I'll be back. Take care, tribe.